Alright, here I am foraging for raspberries. There's a lot of raspberries here by this little pond by my work. So I just come out here on break and I just eat a lot of raspberries. Usually my fingers turn a little purple. That's okay, because these raspberries are delicious and they're free. They're better than anything you can buy in the grocery store. Definitely no pesticides or chemicals on them. The only thing that might be on them is maybe a dog pissed on them or a deer pissed on them or something. That might be the worst case. I think I'd rather eat deer piss than Roundup, glyphosate, or whatever the fuck that shit is. So sorry for the language. Let's just forget about that. I'm sorry about that. But you know, I'd rather eat the pee of an animal than some weird petrochemical designed to kill things. You know, that's the only point for it, is it's to kill things, and they spray it on your food. Come on, we don't need this. We don't need this. But here they are, raspberries. I'm gonna show you. Whoa, 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 whoa! Can you see them? Can you see them? They're ripe everywhere. Every time somebody walks by, I shout at them. They say, "Hey, come and eat some of these raspberries," because they're starting to go bad. These are the most delicious raspberries you can get, and you can get a lot of them here right by my work and other spots around here too. I've walked around and found a lot of other spots where these just grow, you know, because the deer eat them and then they poop. But the deer don't get over here much because it's industrial, so I don't think the deer come in here much. I've never seen a deer or any sign of a deer here. Just birds. A lot of birds here though. An awful lot of raspberries with these things coming right out of the ground. God made this for us. Nature, whatever you want to call it. Something put this here for us to eat it. Oh cool, I can see the reflection off my glasses. But that's not as cool as these raspberries. I'd give up that glasses reflection. These raspberries any day of the week. These raspberries are ripe about 1 month out of the year. They'll probably stop being ripe in about a week. Some are overripe. It's a real bummer when some get overripe and they don't get eaten. Because look at these. These are all overripe. And they just kind of turn. You know, people aren't eating them. People aren't eating them. And we need to be. I'm telling everybody to eat them, so more people are going to start eating them. Ooh, here's a good one. These are all not quite fully ripe yet, but there's some on here that are ripe. You gotta get the ripe ones off and eat them. Otherwise they attract bugs, you know. Holy cow, these are good. I filled up a coffee cup with them the other day. Probably ate as many as I filled it. Raspberries like this grow in my yard too. And then I got some other raspberries in my yard too. They're more like the ones you get in the store. Those aren't ripe yet. They're still white. These though, perfectly ripe. I'm filling up on these every day I'm at work. Every day I'm at work during this month when these are ripe. I'm punching out and taking a little bit of a longer break and just loading my gut full of these raspberries. Nobody else is eating them, and that's the only downside, is nobody else is eating them, and I can't eat all of them. And then a lot of them go mushy, and then the bugs start eating those mushy ones, and then once the bugs start eating those mushy ones, they start eating the ripe ones sooner. So they gotta get eaten. Oh man, I'm getting eaten a little bit too here by these mosquitoes. Getting a little bit of mosquito action, but it's worth it. Nature's vaccine, probably, the mosquito. A lot of mosquitoes though. Oh, but man, not even close to as many of these berries. Again, I couldn't even guess how many of these berries I've eaten. I bet you I've eaten a million. I bet I have. I don't really know how big a million is. I don't know if I've ever really seen a million in actuality, but I've eaten a lot. I mean, look. Oops, mosquito getting me. But yeah, oh, there's one in there that's kind of nasty. They just fall right off. These things are delicious. I love them. You need to get out in nature and eat this stuff. This is what we're intended to eat. And this is what's best for you. Whatever's growing near you, that's what's the best thing for you to eat. It's growing near you. There's all sorts of different things you can eat. Look at this. These are grapes. These are grapes right here. There's some grapes growing amongst. Man, I'm bad at filming, aren't I? Here's some grapes growing amongst these raspberries. So I mean, there's food everywhere. There's also wild spinaches growing in here too. I don't see any of that right now, but there's a lot of things, and probably other things I don't even know that you can eat in here, you know. I don't even know how to know. Now, that's the problem. We know what's on the menu at Burger King and McDonald's and whatever the fuck. Sorry for the language. We know what's on the menu at all these fast food places that cause diabetes and cancer, all sorts of problems. We know all the different things in there, but we don't know the different stuff that we can eat that's just growing in our yard. We don't know how to eat it. You know, we don't know what to do with it even. We don't even know what to do with it. It's sick. It's right here. It's natural. And we're getting sick because it's so sick. The sickness, it's sickness. It's sickness for us. It's sickness for the planet. It's sickness for everything. We're relying on the wrong things here. And I just want everybody to know that there's raspberries out here by my work. So if you're by my work and there's some raspberries, here's some. These are more like the ones you get in the store. So these ones are bigger. I think these ones, no, these are just big ones that haven't quite ripened yet. But yeah, there's a lot of them. I'm gonna continue eating them, and then I gotta get back to work. Cool seeing ya. Good luck finding raspberries of your own. I hope you do.